My name is Damali, Ssali, and I welcome you to this episode of the Ideation Corner. The Ideation Corner is a space where ideas are discussed and dissected. And today, I bring back a former guest, Innocent Kawooya. Innocent is the CEO of High People. He is also a serial entrepreneur, a programmer, a movie producer, and so much more. Today, we are here to talk about his bid to become the mayor of Kampala. Innocent, you're very welcome.
Thank you, Damali.
How have you been?
I'm here, been good, getting excited every day. Yeah, learning new things. Yeah.
That is good.
Yeah.
So, without going around, tell us about your bid that you want about becoming the mayor of Kampala capital city.
Well, I have been watching. I'm old enough to understand what makes sense and what doesn't. And for the last 16 years of my life, I've been planning and waiting for that day when I will actually announce my candidature for Lord Mayor.
For 16 years, you've been thinking about
for
this?
16 years.
Okay.
My good friend called Josephine, I'm sure she remembers because I told them a lot of times. So about 2 months ago, she called me and told me, "Hey, have you forgotten that you said you're going to stand for mayor in 2020?" Yeah, and the COVID year. And I told her, I have not forgotten. I've actually been working with different people. I didn't take it for granted, even when I was prepared for 16 years. I took the last 5 months consulting different people who have led different winning campaigns. I had one person who helped Obama do part of that.
Oh wow!
A lady that was very strong. I had someone who actually interviewed our president in 1986 as one of the consultants. Some lady called Helen.
Okay.
I had different people. Most of them were ladies. And why I chose ladies is because much as I understand and appreciate the challenges of the women and people of Kampala, I needed to know the real challenges by understanding if women think I understand them.
Oh, yeah. That's good. So you went to the women themselves.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Good.
Yeah.
So what solutions, or at least what did you find out? What solutions are you trying to bring to Kampala?
Well, of course, it is no news that I come from a digital world, one that understands how the world moves and changes every day. Kampala has been challenged over time. The drainage and all the things you see are not as a result of poor infrastructure to start with. No, they are a result of poor leadership, poor research, misunderstanding the challenges of the people. We cannot be living in a city, more so our capital city, where decisions are not consensus driven. Why are you constructing a road without asking the people that need the road whether they need it or they need some drainage facility? And why are you telling people you want to have statues on the road yet their schools are not working? It is time for us to work with the technology that's existing to create a digital smart city where every person that has a mobile phone can be able to contribute to the decision making of things that impact them. And I'm going to make sure, with the team I'll be leading with, we make sure we deliver a smart city that will create a minimum of 1 million jobs within 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what exactly do you mean for some of us who are not very techy? Yeah. What do you mean by a smart city? Yeah,
a smart city is one that revolves around technology and works with a technical backed infrastructure to make sure communication systems and everything is done. But more so, I want to make sure that there is deep interoperability, that there is no creation of new silos and expenditure. Kampala has been victim of creating something we call digital debt for Kampala for a long time. That when technology came in, yes, it's exciting, and the capital city authority executives have been actually working to make sure they adapt with the new trends. But they have also done a lot of spending on things that the city doesn't need. So as an expert in understanding what we call maximizing the digital dividend, the first thing I'll make sure is that there is no wrong expenditure made. I know the kind of technology Uganda needs today and Kampala needs today and for the next 20 years. So instead of spending on something that we are going to change after 2 years, I would rather say we plan together at once so that whatever we implement as technology actually connects with every other solution and system and is able to live for a long period of time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in your consultation so far, there is no one who is out there delivering the same.
Yeah. In my consultation, Not my consultation. Even everybody else can know. For the record, if I'm to be factual about me and my candidature, without bragging, that Kampala has never had a leader that has qualities like I do. Actually, for many reasons, Kampala has had so many politicians wanting to be our leaders, and we're tired of them. I am tired, personally.
You're not a politician, you're saying?
I'm not a politician, though I know politics very well, but I never want to be a politician. I always want to make sure that when I am leading people, first of all, the first thing I do for them is direction. Because you would be a leader uselessly telling people you are our leader, then you can't tell us what we can do. I mean, if you can't understand our problems. It's very challenging for someone to think that you're going to drive every single day and live in an expensive car, drive everything you want without ever making time to go and meet the people you serve. The people you find in the city are not the most disadvantaged in Kampala. No. There are things that happen in this city and someone needs to go down and see what happens. There are people in Bwaise who rent their own homes at night and turn them into lodges. And that is how they earn a living. And I mean, someone thinks, bluntly comes and says, I'm delivering ABCD, I'm delivering this kind of policies. Kampala is not only about policies. Kampala is about making things happen and get done. And because it's the capital city, and because Uganda now has 6 cities, we need to have one that is holding the flagship, one that shows the others you need to be like this. Otherwise, if Kampala every single day turns into shame, if people are dying because it has rained for 30 minutes in our capital city, then I mean we are taking a very wrong direction. And I mean, for now and going forward, anyone that thinks politics should stop wanting to be our leader. Anyone that thinks that their role is to come and tell us the ABCD is doing this, the president is doing this, those are not our problems as Kampala residents. Our problems are service delivery. If I can afford to pay school fees for my children, I want to make sure other people can be able to. So how do we do that? I was doing a calculation recently and I realized, for example, if somebody in Kampala is able to raise 100,000 shillings, that is about $25 or $30. If they're able to raise it in a year, they're able to get very quality education for their children. So how do we meet the gap of someone who can raise 100,000? By making sure that we create some bit of interoperability, by making sure we maximize whatever we have as the city. You can't imagine most of the KCCS schools are not grade A, yet they have the infrastructure. But I mean, they cannot even have 700 children in the school, yet they are community schools. And why are not there? There is no one that is mobilizing, no one is taking time to supervise. I mean, how do you be, for example, mayor of the city and you can't visit 10 schools in 10 years? Then what did people vote you for? As a leader, the first thing is supposed to offer supervision. So if you don't know about education, then get someone that knows it and make sure they do that job. I've been in KCCS schools for the last 4 years, going there randomly to understand how education is, and the teachers' quality is going down every single day. Why? Because they all don't care as well, because nobody cares anyway. Their job is to say, we have been at school, they write their preps and everything, and the next day goes, and the other, and before you know, the KCCS schools can't deliver first grade, for example. And you're like, okay, before you know, the children that come there have no clue about life. But because I have a very good understanding of where the world is going, and because I'm one person that appreciates that now going forward, education is very key, but it is important that we also train very important skills to children, especially those around technology. I'll use my network that actually might come free of charge. But it starts with me that is knowledgeable about training. I have taught people in Makere and very many of them at different subjects. And I know the skills that make money. I know what has impacted people. So I want to make sure those skills and many others are imparted in the people of Kampala. Before someone makes 15 years in this city of ours, they should be able to do something for themselves, because Kampala is a hustle.
It is, and there are so many people who are kind of currently hustling. But in your opinion, what has hindered the politicians who've been in Kampala, mayors after mayor after mayor? I mean, what makes you think that you'll be able to make that difference that the other mayors haven't been able to?
Maybe to start with, I am a champion of creating relationships and managing them for a long time. That is something I've done all my life. I have been able to run our corporation, not because we had money, but because I knew how to relate with people. I mean, I know a lot of public relations. and I know people relations a lot, that I know there's no way you're going to run our city when you can't communicate with your fellow leaders. And that has been the biggest problem. You have a leader who thinks they are independent of themselves, yet we voted them, they are running on our mandate, and they cannot even create the simplest relationship with the team that is permanently working at the city authority. I mean, for example, you have an executive director, you have a minister for Kampala. Kampala is supposed to be under the local government ministry, and you're not even creating a simple camera relationship. At least show the public that we have something in common. We meet and talk about the issues of our city. I mean, it doesn't happen. 5 years go, nothing. 10 years go, 15, 20, something years, nothing happens. And because all of them think that Kampala should be politicized in any way or another. So what I'm going to do differently is, because I'm not a politician and because I don't belong to any of their parties.
I like that you're entering into politics, but you're not a politician.
No, we call it politics because we have named it politics in Uganda, and then it's supposed to be leadership. I am offering myself to change Kampala free of charge. I'm that one person that is thinking, because it's not upon me, but I'm that one person that is thinking that even if it calls for me being the mayor of Kampala without being paid a single penny, I would want to do that, at least for 5 years. I would even pay for my fuel and anything, just to make sure that Kampala is a better place. As long as the people that are going to be voting, the residents of Kampala, trust me to offer them guidance, I am willing to offer it, because I know I might be able to afford as much, but I want everyone else to do. I want everyone to afford health care. I want everyone to afford education. I want us to have the roads that we need to have, not the ones that those who are in authority want to have. Because someone stays in Rubaga, they want to have a road that goes to Rubaga. No.
That's very interesting. So, okay, you've been talking about, a lot of people who are in Kampala who, because we have a lot of urban poor in Kampala actually, who can't afford food. They can't afford, like you said, you live in Boise and then you have to turn your house into a lodge in the night just to earn a living. What plans do you have for those people?
Well, like I said, part of my vision is to use my digitizing Kampala agenda to make sure that within a period of 5 years, we'll create a minimum of 1 million jobs. And these are not going to be only formal, no. Of course, our fintech sector that I'm so passionate about, and financial inclusion as a very important agenda, is going to play a lot in this. One, I understand the potential of the people of Kampala. Two, I know how viable their efforts can be in promoting, especially promoting the things that we always advocate for as a nation, promoting exports. I mean, Kampala has people, they have the energy, they're able to work. So what can we create and export? I know you've traveled a lot, and whenever you go across borders, you see people selling jewelry, basic things that look very basic, they're not edible and nothing, and they're available. But I mean, NEMA and other organizations, the Ministry of Lands and all that, have property and land. They have very many resources that we can utilize, for example, to do urban agriculture. That is tech driven. It is monitored, and you know this farm is here with an app and ABCD. And then I also want to make sure that we utilize some of the underutilized resources like warehouses and all that. I mean, why do you want to create a new market and build it on scratch, on our money or borrowed money? Yet there is a warehouse that only needs to be refurbished. It needs painting and all that. It has shelter. Maybe we only buy iron sheets to make sure it is safe, but it can accommodate 500 people, and they will have a market, and we will say this one is for jewelry, and 500 people will have a job in no time. The presidential initiative of the girl child empowerment is training tailors and all other skills. So why you look for them to pay rent that they can't afford and eat on what would be their capital? Yet you can have a warehouse and have 400 of them in one place. Everyone has their space. I mean, if people can co-work in the shops in Chikubu and other places, and someone owns the shelf and all that, then what can't we do the same thing and make sure people own the same kind of space? It can be the most affordable thing, because as long as we take the initiative as the leadership to market it, before we know the market will be there, people will be there to buy stuff. I will leverage my extensive control over the creative industry to make sure we market some of these things. If I want to have a comedian because I know I'm going to win him to sing, if I want to have him to sing, and I know he's a legend and a musician, and probably one of the most celebrated and most famous musicians in East Africa, I'll tell him, Doctor, can we do a song promoting our market here? Or can you do something? Can you create a campaign? Because I know when he says something, they will hear it in a day. They make hits every single day. Some of the songs are even not relevant for us. But I mean, they make hits every single day of their lives. So I'll leverage that. I'll leverage sports to make sure we do that. But I mean, I know where the opportunities are in Kampala. There is a time in 2016 when I spent some little amount of mine doing research when Owino was still a bit more active. And we did a count of people that enter Owino for a whole week, every day counting people. And on average, every single day there were 330,000 people.
330,000?
Yeah,
in
entering.
Owino.
Entering.
Coming, wow.
Exactly. So, it's a huge number. It's a huge number. And see, Damali, what happens is opportunities that we are supposed to create are only a misconception for people who don't want to serve. Some people don't want as much money. Someone only wants an opportunity one day a week to have something. They get their 50,000 and they are okay. They work another. As long as education is fine, healthcare is fine, as long as communication is fine, I mean, people would be okay and they would not be fighting anyone. So because I understand that, and because I am that one person that God has blessed to live in another world, the corporate America world, and then be able to relate with the last person at the bottom of what someone calls the bottom of the pyramid in Uganda. Because when I go to ghetto, I'm never a guest. I'm one of them. I'm always one of them. Why? Because I know their problems. I know their language. I know what they do every single day. When I go to someone who has never been to Kampala, I know their problems. I know someone who only wants Wi-Fi, only wants to be in an apartment and be okay. They want to make sure their cable TV is working. But then, those people can afford to pay for anything. They have insurance and all that. And actually for players like in finance, like insurance companies, it is time they look out for people like me. And we talk and I help them understand how to actually broaden. Of course, it is my job as an advocate for financial inclusion to make sure that first of all, we enrich adoption of services like insurance. But in a broader scale, we are able to work with the small silos and create an ecosystem so that they all benefit. Because someone might have their 2,000 they are willing to pay for insurance. And in the same gap, the calculation is clear that when insurance caters for this sector, they're able to cater for education of maybe 100,000 people, and then they'll get their money from the small pools. I know for many reasons, Damali, I know someone who sells matchboxes, a company that manufactures them would never be in business if you're not making money.
True.
But because the what we call small actually makes sense in the end. That is why they're still relevant.
That matchbox.
Exactly.
The candle.
Exactly. The candle.
Because I always wondered when they sell this the sachet sugar.
Yeah.
And apparently it's one of the fastest moving goods in the corner shops.
Yeah.
It's those sachets of sugar.
Yes.
And they make a huge profit margin. The shop owners own it.
Exactly.
That's why they continuously do it.
Exactly.
So it's interesting when you look at the other side of the pyramid and then try to catalyze it.
Exactly.
So in terms of politics, I feel like you want to enter into politics, but you're saying you're mostly a leader, you're not a politician. How are you going to relate with the politicians? Because you have to work with the politicians.
I know politics, Damali, like I said. Actually, for those people who think that they are smart politicians, I know politics. There is no better politics than leading people. I've been leading teams since when I was 9 years. I've been a leader. I was a head boy. I used to lead our team, football team, Boca Juniors, when I was 9 years. I mean, all my life. Been leading all my life. I know when I have to lose. For example, that is the biggest challenge by the most of people who call themselves leaders. They think they have to win every day, and it can't be. Never. Even when there is that time when I am the winner and I feel like I shouldn't have the win, and I throw it away and I'm like, the person is the other person. Why? Because I have already read their statement. I know what they are feeling. I know what is going to happen if they don't win. I am one person who doesn't want to cause unnecessary heartbreaks. So because I know that, I know politicians. The first thing is they want to be glorified. By the way, one of the biggest elements of politicians is they want to be up there and they want everyone to see them. And I was telling my friend the other day that I come as an uncommon figure. So all the other people are celebrities.
They're all known. I feel like they're all known out there.
Yeah, they're known, and they should wait for the blessed one. They should wait for the person who's going to win them when they are not known, because the people of Kampala are smart. Challenge is that the corporate world keeps quiet. They don't vote.
Yes.
And they're elite, and they're supposed to be supporting our communities. And these communities supported them somehow. They even keep supporting them. They buy stuff from their companies and all that. But they don't vote. And like somebody says that the bad leaders are voted by good people who do not vote. Like it is said, those good people, I am telling all of them, people come and vote. If it means monitoring all of them on election day, we shall look for each one from their home and tell them go and vote. But importantly, I am praying a lot. I am working on a real concrete plan that is not just about speaking. I know for sure that there is not going to be a candidate like me anytime, unless if they are trained by me to come later. But there is not going to be one like me. Why? Because I possess those very, very unique qualities of a leader that the youth in Kampala need. Of course, I have things to do. I am a busy person, and my innovations make me much busier. So I wouldn't want to participate in politics. Actually, it's the reason why someone was telling me, why don't you come with a flag of a party? Because I could have access to any of the parties in Uganda. I mean, I could have access.
By choosing to come as an independent.
I don't have time for nonsense, if I'm to say. I don't have time for making noise that doesn't make sense. I want us to change the lives of our people. I want us to make sure that we deliver to the things we say. Yes, we are able to deliver on our niches in the small capacities we have. And I believe if the people of Kampala entrust me with the city for 5 years, maybe I'll train for them another leader, because I might not be interested to come back after 5 years.
Would you just do one time?
Yeah, I want to do a model city. I want to do a prototype, a template for Kampala and how to run cities in Africa. So everyone can learn from me. I go back, do my code, my fintech, do my financial inclusion, make sure women have employment, make sure by the time we get to 2030, I have done my job in making sure that the 10 years that were dedicated for women are actually fully maximized.
Fruitful.
Yeah, exactly.
No, Innocent, thank you so much for speaking to me. Do you have any last words?
My last words, first of all, I thank you, Damali. The Ideation Corner is growing.
You were the first guest.
Yeah, I was the first guest, so I was going there. And I am thankful to God that I am still the first one to come back again. How blessed can I ever be? To the people of Kampala, I wish to tell you that Innocent Kawooya is not here to only tell you stories. Innocent Kawooya has worked and changed how so many things are done in Uganda and the world. Innocent Kawooya is connected on earth and in heaven. So be sure, Innocent Kawooya is going to make sure we have 1 million jobs in Kampala within the next 5 years. Innocent Kawooya is going to make sure we deliver a clean, smart, digital Kampala, one that makes sure that every decision that is made in Kampala is made as a result of consensus, as a result of all your input. So Innocent Kawooya is the candidate you have that already has 50% of the votes. So just add on the going to line up, and we shall be winning, and we'll change our city forever.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you've had it. Innocent Kawooya standing for mayor. Please subscribe to my channel on YouTube and on Facebook at Damali Ssali. Thank you.